Man, a lot of people talking about who should be the Pistons' next head coach. I think it's a couple options out there, but it's some really popular options. Let's get this Ime Udoka thing out the way. Now, the Pistons had their own issues with what Ime Udoka got caught with. They removed one of the guys out of their front office, so I don't really think they're going to go that avenue. Just to be honest, I don't see that. But I don't think they're going to do that. I mean, you could be desperate to win, but it's never a good look when you got that case, and it was already happy your organization, and then you trusting Ime Udoka not to make that same mistake. And the thing about it is, all men out there, you have to learn to control your sexual desires. I'm gonna keep the clean version. And if you don't learn to control your sexual desires, you don't, learn to control your mans down there. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna be able to accomplish what you want to accomplish in life. Trust me. You have to be disciplined with that thing. You see all these dudes, they getting all these girls and they getting some of them pregnant. Why? I mean, that ain't cool. Ain't nothing really cool about that. Once you get older, you get all these women, and ain't nothing cool about that shit happening. Women equal problems a lot of the time, especially when you attract the wrong people. So, yeah, have control. You know what I'm saying? You see a lot of them dudes who had Cap dude in my neighborhood. We kind of looked up to him. He was a little bit older than us. You know what I'm saying? He was young with a lot. Ended up having kids when he young and shit. I seen him like a few years ago. That dude looked stressed out. A lot of them dudes like that, they'll tell you that they wish they would have waited. They wish they would have kept their virginity and all that. So I always remember, I mean, I'm not sure how many young guys, listen to me per se, whatever, but ain't nothing cool about. Ain't really nothing cool about it, bro, once you think about it. You sharing a part of yourself, and she's sharing a part of her with you. I mean, you get what I'm saying, but you can't have that in an organization. I'm sorry. The Miles Bridges thing, when it comes to players and that, you don't haven't had that to our knowledge in the organization. And, you can kind of, wrap your arms around him and, you know what I'm saying, and hopefully you can rehabilitate him. His case kind of took a different turn. I have an update on him probably coming Friday. I'm going to have to put that in my note. But I think a lot of people like Jerry Stackhouse, what he did in the G League. It's so funny. Nick Nurse did well in the G League. What's so funny about Nick Nurse? He was talking about the G League championship. It was reporting Kawhi stopped him, was like in the locker room, like, this ain't the G League, bro. We in the NBA. So right then and there, you already know it's the first time in NBA history that I think over 50% of the league, or maybe over or at 50% of the league, are black head coaches. You know what I'm saying? What Deion Sanders was doing for HBCUs and getting them to hire former black athletes when the NFL wouldn't and some colleges wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of like what they fighting with Patrick Ewing fighting for Bill Laimbeer, even though he messed his name up. But I mean, a lot of other people like that, they were fighting. They was fighting for former players to get back in to get head coaching jobs in the league. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, the G League was a place. Think about Jerry Stackhouse won the G League championship. They went to another one. Nick Nurse won the G League championship. He ended up getting a great situation in Toronto. Next saying he can't coach. Why Jerry Stackhouse can't get a situation? And if you do get a situation, they send you to Orlando or some shit like that, like they did Brian Shaw. He had a really, really young Denver team. Just a lot of young guys, and we don't have no veterans on our team. There's only so much you can do even as a former player. So I say this: if we don't take care of our star athletes, especially from the bad boys, we don't take care of Isaiah, Biddy, Bill. How do we expect other organizations to take care of them? Yeah, give Jerry Stackhouse a chance. Seem to be a hell of a coach. Seem to have a hell of a relationship with a lot of these players, dude. Real talk. He seemed to have a great relationship. Real talk. And I was listening to his interview with Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson on All the Smoke podcast. He's coached Saban Lee and all that type of stuff. So seemed to have a great relationship with a lot of young guys and seemed to be a really good coach. I know Vanderbilt ain't had bid for basketball. He made them upgrade their systems and all that, upgrade their facilities and all that type of stuff. So So, I mean, yeah, I would love the Jerry Stackhouse hire. Young guy, now you got a lot of people saying, oh, it won't matter. Man, at the end of the day, if I'm the one telling you to be positive, which I'm trying to have more of a positive mindset, that's a problem. and I think you can't think like that. Oh, this team will still suck or whatever. I don't believe that to be the truth. I think coaching is a big detriment to that, and I think Jerry Stackhouse can really help them in that aspect. I'm about to mail my broken phone back off because I couldn't make it yesterday. Hold on. Reaching for the wrong stuff. So, yep. So, but yeah, I think that's a real popular pick for a lot of people. I can leave my car running out here in Farmington Hills while I go into the UPS store or stuff like that. You know, in the city they call it. I used to know some people that used to do that. They call it smoking gun. When you leave your car running like at the gas station, they jump into it and start driving. That's what they call it in the city, smoking gun, or something like that. But yeah, sometimes I have my dog in here. One day my window was broke and shit, and the lady was like, "He's not gonna jump out the window, is he?" And I'm like, "No, I don't think so." He didn't do it though. Miles a good dog. He will fight your ass though. If he have to, he will fight. But yeah, you talking about other candidates, man. I mean, what if Udoka come back and the guy from Boston? Obviously, they was kind of talking about how he kind of got out coached by Ty Lue, and Boston went on a little West Coast swing and all that. But at the end of the day, he getting experience. Forget the guy's name. He getting experience, and obviously it's the talent around him and all that. And it's experience. You know, obviously he did something right to be able to be the next guy up behind him and Udoka. You know, I forget his name, but I think it's an opportunity. You know, I think it's an opportunity, bro, for him to really step it up. And, you know, him and Udoka come back, they win the championship or they go far or whatever, he do a good job. Yeah, they got talent, but so did Steve Kerr. He came in the league with the Golden State talent. But you got to know how to make it work. You've seen with Steve Nash, they ain't respect you. So if he demanded respect to Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, if he demanding that respect, then I think, you know, I think you give him an opportunity. You might have to give him an opportunity in Detroit. It ain't like Detroit lacking resources in the talent department either. So it ain't like you going here and you building it from scratch, and that's a different. I mean, still he might be the guy for the job. He young, so he still might be the guy for the job, regardless. So I forget his name, and then I don't really start watching basketball till after football, honestly. I remember the 90s basketball was it. It was the premier sport. It came on Saturday, Sunday. Didn't care nothing about football. But I think it was on my other channel, check it out, Goodfellow TV. I talked about one day how I remember seeing football take over basketball and be the #1 sport before it actually was. I grew up in an era where I seen it happen. I seen football rise to its dominance over basketball. I seen it happen. You know, as a kid, I seen that transition happen. Before it became official, I seen it happen. But moving on, I mean, you know, you continue to think, you say, you know, Mark Jackson is another hot name out there. Kenny Atkinson is another hot name out there. Steve Kerr get fired, that'd be another hot name out there. So, them three coaches, we talk about, you know, Mark Jackson, you know, he's flexible, he's good with young guys. He's not going to put a cap on their potential. He's not going to put a cap on them revolutionizing the game. And he going to get the guards the best game they know how. You know, he played the game a Pacific way. He was a true point guard. He didn't put that on Steph Curry. He didn't make Steph Curry say, well, you got to be this true point guard like I was. He didn't do that. That's what I like the most. And he said, man, they the best shooting backcourt I seen. They one of the best backcourts before they was. So, you know, Mark Jackson seen, you know, he was able to see it in practice. He knew it was coming. But he didn't try to put his game on Clay and Steph. He ain't do that. He knew what Steph was. He allowed Steph to grow, tweak here, tweak there. And I think in this instant with Cade Cunningham, I think he could do that. I literally think he could say, dude, I want you to be what I was. I think he could do that. look here, you just work on your 3-point shot a little bit. This is what I want you to be. That's kind of what I was talking about the other day with Trae Young. Trae Young need that. They got speed meters right here too. Trae Young need that. And Cade Cunningham don't necessarily have to have it. In my opinion, he don't have to have it. You know? But it won't hurt. He don't necessarily have to have it, but for Cade Cunningham, but it'll work. But yeah. Kenny Atkinson, he did a great job with the young Nets team before Kyrie railroaded them. Thought they was going in the right direction with Russell and all those guys out there. Defensively, going to defend. Russell take questionable shots, but they was a good basketball team. So he was going to be the Charlotte Hornets head coach, and then he reneged in the offseason, went back to Golden State. So maybe he knew something we didn't know about other opportunities or something about Charlotte we don't know. I don't think LaMelo's sticking around too much longer. So, yeah, I love Kenny Atkinson for the job. Steve Kerr could be available. It's another, coach like him. So he ain't did nothing. He overrated. Man, I ain't going to get into that. To make talent work, you got to make it work. Well, it's Mark Jackson's team, and it was. But he been around multiple championship organizations, Phil, Greg Popovich, and all that team. So I still think, he still know what it look like. He can make it work. And at the end of the day, he still come with the credentials. He did it on the floor. He did it in the coach. He studied under some great coaches. So I ain't really mad about it. So them kind of guys I'm kind of thinking about, just off the top of my brain without Wikipedia and Googling it today. Let me know what you girls and guys think. Check out the Detroit Pistons Talk playlist. Thumbs up the video. Share the video. Subscribe to the channel. Next subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications. Increase your chance of notification. Hit the link tree. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Spotify, Anchor. Follow me and rate me on those. I do appreciate y'all. Link tree, the first link in the description. But I'm definitely endorsing a hard endorsement to take care of our own former Pistons. And I strongly endorse Jerry Stackhouse. But I like all the candidates that I pretty much named. But hey, let me know what you girls and guys think.